Swing from buildings. Shoot webs. Bring down the bad guys. And for the first time ever, you have all his cool spider powers.
Jim, the garbage isn't going to take itself out.
You don't just play it, you live it.
Jim?
Spider-Man the game. Rated E for everyone. From the creators of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Welcome to Remember 64, where this week we're heading to our local comic book shop. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. Hello again if you're a returning listener or viewer, and welcome if this is your first time joining us. Here in Remember 64, we are going to play, discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between throughout the Nintendo 64's library. Easy for me to say so far today. My name is David Petrangelo, and with great power comes some early 2000s polygonal responsibility, and this week we have it in spades. Jiggy Look Back here once again. Hello, how are you?
Go web, go! Ha!
Thwap, thwap, thwap,
Thwip, 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 ha!
thwappity, thwappity, punch kick. Yeah. Your sound effects are much better than mine. If that has not queued anybody up, again, once again, Jiggy brings the visuals here. Please find at least this opening section on YouTube and watch the video, because that just amplified what just happened there on screen. So you might have heard it, but it is different with your eyes. If you have not guessed so far, we are talking about Spider-Man, the 2000 release on the N64, a late release on the console, which I did not realize at first. I thought this was a little bit earlier. And this is just one of the many versions of this game that are out there. We will discuss that as we go along. But Spider-Man is right in the smack of summer when we're recording this, and when you're going to be able to hear this episode when it first releases. Why not, with the last 15 years of movies, or really 20 plus years of movies, let's hit up some Spider-Man action. Let's hit up some comic book action and bring in some heroes. That's pretty much why we're
baby.
doing it. Yeah, and this is a game that I think I've been looking forward to revisit. I had some experience with it growing up. We'll get into some of those details in a minute, but yeah, Spider-Man is what we have up this week. I just want to do the housekeeping like I have been doing for the last couple of episodes or so. If anyone has not heard, Remember 64 has now joined consolecreatures.com, and the Console Creatures set of podcasts, including a big, actually massive Spider-Man fan in Matt, that also works with me at Console Creatures, the host of the PlayStation Generation podcast, who you will hear on this podcast very soon. He will be joining us for an episode that's upcoming. Matt is one of a number of people that work at Console Creatures. So we have PlayStation Generation, which talks about all things PlayStation and sort of newer consoles and all that stuff as well, if news links together for that podcast. And then we also have the Creature Cast on as well, which Bobby and Steve are mostly on with awesome guests a lot of the time too, and interviews and everything about newer games, releases. There's, for example, Switch games that are coming out, reviews of consoles like the Switch 2 recently happened as well. So those types of approaches and previews and interviews, like I said, and stuff. So that's where you can find the podcast, but consolecreatures.com, you can also find all the links to all of them. And articles and written articles and reviews, some by myself, but mostly by the other members of the crew, including guys like Dennis, for example. And yeah, that's the biggest update. I think we're going to be able to sort of do some cross work as well. So like you may have heard previously or on other episodes that you may have been sifting through, that doesn't change anything for this particular show. we're going to have the same structure. We're going to have myself and Jiggy on it constantly, and running through the 64's library. That's basically how we're going to do it, and keep things going. Just going to be part of another pool of awesome stuff. And honestly, those shows, I've been on them. They're super fun to listen to, super fun to be on. Hopefully that's what everyone thinks about for this show too. We're just going to try and keep it all going. And every once in a while, we'll have guys like Matt, for example, that will join us on an episode upcoming that, a little more likely that they'll probably pop on than they would have otherwise. But that's pretty much it. So consolecreatures.com is where you'll find it. And this show and the others as well, the Creature Cast and PlayStation Generation. So without further ado, I think we have some Spider-Man and Thwap, zip zapping.
Thwap action.
Action.
Swing.
Before we get into talking specifically about the game and some details, I'm going to play the opening sort of to the main menu type of thing, because one of the big awesome things about this is you get a taste of really cool classic music and a new take on it. So we'll go back to some sounds and music as we go along that we're trying to do. But if you're watching this as well, the YouTube version, you'll be able to see us sort of flip between our new setup and stuff here as well, which is kind of fun. But let's kick off with hearing a little bit of what this game has to offer.
Banger.
What do we have here?
I missed that. And this is just the menu music. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Oh yeah, there's a kid mode. That was something that I forgot about. Yeah. All right, we'll get to the sound for that in just a second. But that is how we get things started in Spider-Man 2000 for the N64. Jiggy, while we talk about sort of our potential lead-ins to what we have experienced past with this game, are you a comic book fan? Are you a Spider-Man fan? Like, let's sort of place ourselves in, like, is Spider-Man something I would be excited to play regardless of when it was, like it, or any kind of comic book movie? Like, I know we've talked about, I think a little bit on episodes, but definitely off air, about your extensive kick-ass skills in the Arkham games. But but this is like sort of it's not the same, obviously, fighting mechanics, but somewhat early 3D superhero games. But as far as like overall comics, Marvel, Spider-Man, are you into it? Is it sort of like another name, or?
Oh yeah, no. So I was a big superhero nerd growing up, but I will say I did have comics, and I read comics. One of my favorite series was actually Daredevil. Fun fact. That was one of my favorites. But I won't say that I was like I wasn't go to the I actually did have a comic store that I would go to and read comics. I had an extensive Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comic collection, which is kind of funny.
Well, like bind or separate? Because I know they had, obviously they're separate. Like, was Sonic in Archie?
Sonic, it was like the Archie. It wasn't Archie Comics. It was like Archie Comics, like the brand. Like they made a Sonic the Hedgehog comic. Yes,
gotcha.
They made a Sonic the Hedgehog comic, and I had like dozens of them, and they're still at my mom's, like sitting there. And then I have a couple floating in there, like a couple Daredevils, Spider-Mans, Batman. I had stuff like that, but I won't say that I had an extensive comic book knowledge.
Right.
Most of my exposure to superheroes came from other forms of media. Like, I had tons of video games, this one included. I watched.
If anyone's watching, is just over your shoulder as well.
Yes, it's over my shoulder.
Cartridge.
Talk about that in a sec. There's a story. The 90s show. I watched X-Men. I watched Spider-Man. I watched the Hulk. I watched Batman the Animated Series. I would say between Batman the Animated Series and this one were probably my like top two childhood cartoons.
Nice.
To be honest.
Nice.
I really loved it. And actually Spider-Man Unlimited would probably be number 3, which shout out to the 10 people who watched that, because that one was very unique and a sort of I'd say it's a pseudo sequel to the 90s series.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not really a sequel, it's kind of its own thing, but it sort of was like implied that maybe it could be. And then it connects to this game in an interesting way, Spider-Man Unlimited. So I'll just
I know very little about that show. Now that I look it up, I was like, oh, which one is that? Yeah, I remember seeing this, but I don't have very much
Spider-Man Unlimited,
because
coolest
of when it
Spider-Man
was out.
costume.
I was not watching that type of show at that
Sure.
time, so I know of it, but it's available on Disney Plus, which makes sense. But yeah, only ran for looks like two and a half ish seasons,
Yeah.
so not a
It wasn't
ton.
it wasn't a long running one, but it had the
Yeah,
coolest Spider-Man costume ever.
it does look really cool. Yeah,
It has the
yeah,
like little web cape and stuff.
yeah. It's got a web cape. Yeah, what?
Dude, that costume is sick. You can use the Spider-Man Unlimited costume in this game, by the way.
Ooh,
It
that's
doesn't have a cape, but it's still cool.
still that'd probably be hard to do, right, to animate and stuff, so that's fine. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know offhand because I can't remember because there's so many at this point, but out of the Spider-Man PlayStation games that have been out recently, I bet this is one of the designs, or maybe one is like inspired by this if they got the rights to it, you know what I mean? So anyways, so yes, so you do have is Spider-Man like one of like it's we don't have to like rank our favorites or whatever, but is it like one of your favorite characters because of
I'd put him in the top 10. I mean, who doesn't love
yeah.
Spider-Man? It's
I
like
know.
if someone has like a top 10 comic book character list, like I would be surprised if Spider-Man's not on it. Like
Yeah.
you'd be very, very bougie, I guess, if you didn't have Spider-Man on it. You'd be like, oh, Spider-Man's the common man favorite. Like
I only pick C tier heroes.
yes.
Yeah,
Be
very
like
hipster.
if it ain't the random guy that showed up in I don't even know what I was gonna say. Some sort of obscure comic book.
If their feet leave the ground, they are not my hero.
Yes. Like I like some obscure X-Men, okay?
Yeah.
His
The
name is
third
Icicle
X-Men.
Tuts.
Iceman, my ass.
He's much better than Iceman.
Icicle boy. You know what, actually, when you sort of talk about how you grew up on the shows and stuff, it's actually not that different for me. Batman the Animated Series is one of my favorite sort of show. It's probably my favorite cartoon from growing up, and one that I think largely holds up now, which is great.
Oh yeah.
So that one
Okay.
is one that I've wanted to like legit sit down, revisit every episode kind of thing. It's just finding the time and availability is a whole other reason as to why it's not necessarily possible, because that, unlike Spider-Man Unlimited or even the Spider-Man cartoon, lasted for I want to say 7 seasons or like 6 seasons. Like it feels that long, but it was a decent amount of episodes. Anyways, great show. I love that. Batman was always sort of my go-to, mainly because I grew up watching that show. And because I owned one of the Super Nintendo games. I don't remember exactly which one it was. And then those, those corny 90s movies came out.
Oh yeah.
And those came out at the perfect time where I was old enough to go to the theater with my friends. Those were the Batman. Like I watched the other 2 Batman movies before that, but those 3 that are not very good movies, fun in their own way, but went for the cheese in a really strange way.
Yeah, like
when you
Batman
really look
Forever,
at them.
Val
Batman
Kilmer,
Forever, Batman,
and then Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. Like they're just,
Yeah.
Sure, there's Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. I mean, that's great. They ham it up in such a great way, but like the movies aren't great. So, but those ones were like, I went to the theater, so they stand out for me in a lot of ways. Spider-Man was always a hero that I really enjoyed just because I think he's cool. Like I just really like the physicality of what Spider-Man is and characters like that. Same thing with you with actual comics. I never really had them growing up. I have it like you said you have a bunch of Sonic ones. Honestly, I'd go to like one of the stores. I grew up in an area where there was not enough people to even have a comic book shop. Like I would have had to drive an hour to get to one. Like it just wasn't a thing. So a lot of my experience with it was the movies, the TV shows, and the video games. That was my superhero experience for sure. And eventually the movies that came out when Spider-Man came out, I think would be probably like the first one that is like a very obvious one, because at the time I definitely didn't know Blade was a comic book character. I wouldn't have known maybe Spawn, but I don't even know if I saw that movie when it came out. I probably saw it a few years later. It's a terrible movie, by the way. revisited a couple years ago. It's so.
But have you seen the Spawn animated series on HBO? Because that's really
I have
good.
I've seen a few episodes. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I have seen a few episodes. Yeah, I mean, look, Spawn's a cool looking character, so it's like
Yeah,
no
very
denying.
Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Todd McFarlane. He made Venom.
McFarlane, exactly.
Pretty much Venom.
Oh, Venom. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. McFarlane made Venom. Yeah. So yeah, so not too far off, but Spider-Man's always been one of those characters that, like, if there's a game coming out, especially when the new ones came out, like, not only did they look good when they were sort of saying, "Hey, we're making a Spider-Man," the developers that made it make great games and all these things. Like, of course, I'm going to play them. They're fantastic. So I was kind of excited to revisit this one or play it. And I did grow up playing a couple of Spider-Man games around this era as well. I believe growing up, I had more experience playing the ones that were loosely based around the movies and the PlayStation version of this one. But I do remember getting my hands on the 64 one. I just don't know if I can differentiate the two in my mind from my memory and stuff around that time, because there was just a lot of this kind of stuff going on. So that's my sort of history with it and stuff like that. Did you play this and did you enjoy it then, or did you enjoy it now?
I enjoyed it then. I enjoy it now.
Right.
Yes, I had this game growing up.
Okay.
I have actually played 3 versions of this game throughout my life. I have played the N64 version, obviously. I played the PlayStation 1 version, and I played the Windows version. I guess it would be Windows, right? I mean, PC version.
PC would be just Windows.
It's one of those games that I think was very popular on the school ground.
Gotcha.
It's just one that we all were like, oh, this is a cool game, and we all had to get it. And so, like, everybody had a different version, and so I would go to my friend's house, and I actually, at the time, loved looking at those versions to see the difference, because each one of them was different looking, had different functionality, super cool. This game is one I remember my dad getting for me.
Okay.
And I actually, like years and years ago, after I had a pretty substantial N64 collection. I think I've talked about this before. I had probably like 70, 80 games, somewhere around there.
Oh, was it that much? Oh, shit.
It was that much. And I had sold it because broke college kid wanted money.
Because life.
Stupid. We'll never do it again.
Stupid Jiggy.
Everyone
stupid
has
Jiggy.
to do it at some point in their life. Like, I'm so thankful I kept my GameCube collection, which is just still massive.
Right.
But I went back to the same shop years later and found this.
Come on.
And it is indeed my cartridge that I sold to him, and I reacquired it, and I knew it was mine, and this is a very particular reason and disgusting. My brother had spilled milk on my N64 games. Okay.
Shit.
And there was still like dried milk in the lining, and I've cleaned it off since then, obviously.
Yeah, but
I was like, oh my gosh, this is mine. So I immediately bought it back. So I have it. And funny enough, one of the few remnants of my N64 collections that also was retained, which is even more rare than the actual cartridge itself.
Oh,
I have the instruction booklet for this specific game.
Wow.
This is like the only,
which are just hard to find in general. Like,
this is like the only instruction booklet that I have for my N64 that I retained. I think I had Kirby 64. Some of them are still at my mom's. This one I was like, oh, I have this, and I grabbed it and packed it up.
Right.
Kirby 64, Star Fox. I think that may be it. And this one. And I like never
not something
retained.
typically you're hanging on to, honestly.
No,
like
never held on to the instruction booklets, but for some reason I hung on to this one.
Wow, it's in really good shape too.
It's in very good shape.
Yeah.
And it's got really cool art in it. So I'll kind of hold it up to the camera if I can. It's got like these little like hand-drawn looking Spider-Man.
Yeah. In the corners and stuff.
Yeah, just like throughout the thing. And it'll tell you,
that's sweet.
Focus. It'll tell you like, oh gosh, come on.
It'll get there. The other one I got there.
It'll tell you things about the game, obviously normal instruction booklet and stuff, but there are a few like funny things. First off, it'll tell you like our hero, Spider-Man. Okay.
Yes.
It gives you like a little like details about him. Okay. So Spider-Man, name, Peter Parker, age early to mid 20s, identity secret. It just said his name. First appearance, Amazing Fantasy 15, August 1962.
Love it.
And then it says relatives, Mary Jane Watson Parker, which at this point they're married in this game. Fun fact. Mary and Richard Parker, parents deceased. It's just like a little synopsis of his life. Affiliates, Avengers. And then it'll say like enemies. This is kind of funny.
Yes.
Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Venom, Carnage, Electro, Vulture, Sandman, Lizard, Mysterio, Kingpin, Chameleon, Kraven, Scorpion, and many others. Gives you his height, which is 5'10", his weight, which is 165.
165.
He's about my build, apparently.
Wow, what's it like to be under 180? Jeez.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
I mean, I'm just over 6 feet, so that's part of it. But
well, that's nice. Nice for you. Powers. This is interesting to me because it says superhuman strength, and then it gives you in parentheses class 10, and it says equals 10 tons. So he's a 10-ton capable lifting hero.
Lifting 10 tons or pushing 10 tons.
Yeah.
Or,
which I think since then they have actually increased that. I'm pretty sure he's even stronger now.
Really?
I think that's very strong.
10 tons is crazy. That's
like
8 cars.
Right? Superhuman reflexes, superhuman agility, spider sense that warns him of pending danger and gives him the ability to detect signals from his spider tracers. Interesting detail.
Yeah.
Ability to adhere to walls and most other surfaces with his extremities. Okay, but here's the best part.
Which extremities, though?
Right. Important detail they do not clarify.
Yeah, that's right. How many of his extremities?
Right. Gameplay tips, and it gives you just a bunch of like random things. Like, for example, sometimes it's better to run than fight. Even superheroes know when a fight can't be won. Use discretion when confronted with some enemies. But here's my favorite one from the page. Spidey may be a superhero, but he doesn't like water. Avoid swimming at all costs.
Yeah. No fucking shit.
But that's about it. I just thought that was really...
That's great.
Really
no,
funny.
that's good. Because how many times have, me specifically, but how many times have we said, like, oh, if I had the manual, maybe it would have helped me with this? Or like we talked about that, like with Quest 64 was a perfect example where it was like, you go into it, and if you had the manual, it would have really helped you with like, oh, what can I build towards? Or what are my abilities? Or how does this work or that work with a game that doesn't tell you that much, right? With this, it doesn't really tell you that much either. Every once in a while it does, but those little tips and stuff, which were often included in a bunch of manuals, would help you, would definitely be some aid and stuff. So the fact that you have it, it's in incredible condition, by the way, which I think I already said, but I wish I had more of those too. That stuff is
just cool. It's just
great.
cool. And especially just seeing all the art and stuff, like the front cover.
Yeah, it's a great cover, honestly. It's a really cool cover.
They drop it on the title screen. Yep. For some reason, this is my only complaint. This cartridge is red. I love when they do the different colored cartridges, which is sick. And it's red for Spider-Man. It's got like high contrast. The label's like really dark colored.
Yep.
But they didn't put Spider-Man on the freaking label on the cartridge. Okay? It's the same image. It's the same image on the manual as the cartridge. It's the same image on the title screen, but they literally just like cut Spider-Man out of it, and it's just a building.
What's on the bottom there, other than the actual ESRB rating? What's on the bottom? Cartridge. Activision
and Marvel, and then obviously the Nintendo seal of quality. Let's see if I can get it.
Oh, that's why. So I feel like the ESRB needs to be there, I guess. Activision does, but like if you take the 64 logo away, you could have put Spider-Man on there.
I mean, they could have just put Spider-Man behind the logo. I think that's.
I know. Yeah, that's true. Like, what does it matter if it covers his hand? Like,
I don't know. It just feels weird. It's like they took the time and effort to make that specific image without Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Rather than just plastering it and resizing it. It just feels strange.
I'm gonna see if this works. Actually, our background for the episode, if anyone's watching, is the cover. I'm gonna. Yes. Ooh. Whoops. What did I just do? Whoops. There we go. We're good. Figured out the video. Damn, you got a story, man. You always got stories. This is great. This is why I keep you around, man.
Yeah.
Keep you around. You got
I'm a
stories.
storyteller. What can I say?
I love story time. I have no stories with this game at all. It's what I just said. So okay. So before I get into my sort of overall thoughts, one of my favorite parts of this that I completely forgot about, did not know about, I'm going to pull up the video and we're going to play a little bit of it because the way this game starts and the intro and all that is one of my favorite parts of this. I think it's after this point, so I got to like skip ahead just a tiny bit. This is like the intro. We're at Expo 2000, the setup of the story, blah, 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 blah. Then, let's go. Let's hear it. Also, that's kind of cool. Whoops, that's an ad. That's not cool. But YouTube. The comic book stuff, which we'll get into because that's one of the differences with these games, is the comic book screens and stuff is something that you see in this version, which I enjoyed as well. It's stylized anyway. And then you get this.
Welcome, true believers and newcomers alike. Spider-Man co-creator Stan Lee here. Once again, we find our hero Peter Parker, better known around the world as the Amazing Spider-Man, in a heap of trouble. But this is just the beginning, Spidey fans. So get ready for a true superhero action thriller, packed to the brim with thrills and chills, twists and turns, more supervillains than you can shake a web at, and of course, non-stop web-slinging, wall-crawling action.
So good, right? I love that.
Hey,
Oh, and then some voice
Hey,
acting.
Black Cat, what's going
Yeah.
I know there's been some trouble, but the bank's being robbed, and they've got hostages. Use your Spidey compass to get to the bank quickly.
Use the Spidey compass.
Your Spidey
So,
compass.
Some of the actors, the voice actors from the 94 series are in this. I didn't write all their names down, but one of the ones that I did write down was Jennifer Hale, who's the one that does Black Cat there. And she's become like a huge voice actor over the years. She did do that character in the animated series as well. But one of the most notable things that she did is she's the female version of Shepard in the Mass Effect series. So if you play a Shepard, that's her voice. And she's done a bunch of other stuff, but that's like one of the more recent recognizable ones. Anyways, I thought this game was okay. I just thought it was okay. Yeah. Not gonna lie, I thought I would enjoy it more than I did. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's something you avoid. I don't think it's on the lower tier of any list of any of that type of stuff. But there were just certain points of frustration and annoyance maybe that I got with it, and probably like a limitation of what they could do with this is probably part of it. First and foremost, we talk a lot about playing with a game with the 64 controller or not, what that's like, if it's good, things like that. And then also the camera, which has also been a problem for a lot of people when it comes to this generation, and a lot of the time with the 64 and sort of early 3D and everything. And I think those two things for me were not very good in this game. I did not really love the way that the controls were laid out, and I thought the camera this is one of the only games that the camera frustrated me. Mostly because when you are in tighter quarters, it like you can't move the camera is the biggest issue, right? And when you're in tight quarters and you're moving somewhat fast, I feel like Spider-Man's a little bit slow in this game at times, but that's fine. It is what it is. The speed of the game is not crazy fast anyway, so it's fine. But when you're in tight quarters, I just felt like I was just battling way too much with my surroundings. The camera tries to lock itself behind Spider-Man pretty much all the time, which I am fine with. I have said on this show and on others, like when it comes to especially like the early 3D stuff, I like that the games will give you an option to lock the camera behind your character if you have the option to, because I just like that perspective. It works better for me. And then I'll move it when I need to move it, to look around a corner or up or down or whatever, right? Not everyone's like that. That's just how I enjoy playing 3D action games like this. And in this, it doesn't give you that choice. It will just try its hardest to always be behind Spider-Man, whenever you get a chance to just sit still for half a second, boom, it locks behind him. Boom, it locks behind him. When sometimes that's okay, but I felt like I was fighting with it quite a bit. So I don't think that the gameplay is terrible. There's some frustrations with some of the gameplay as I played through it as well, but those two things were, I felt like I was fighting with it more than I wanted to. And that's what held me back from it a little bit. I don't think it's a bad game. I do think there's a lot of charm here. There's a lot of cool ideas. I do like the fact that you can kind of swing whenever you want, and you can kind of get up on the ceiling really quickly and get across the walls and stuff. Like, it is pretty fun that way to be able to do those moves as Spider-Man. At least most of the missions are fairly varied, which is good too. You're not always doing the same thing, which is very common in a lot of like early-ish superhero games. You will go and be like, oh, save the hostages. Oh, pick up this. Oh, go open that door. Happens so often because really they're just finding an excuse for you to do more things as Batman or Superman or Spider-Man or whatever, right? That doesn't happen too often here, which is really cool. Different environments. You're not really repeating a lot of the areas very much at all, which is kind of fun. And there's boss fights, which for me were hit and miss as well. But I overall I found it just okay. What about you? I mean, you have a history with it, so it sounds like you probably were into it.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to say, jumping back to the voice acting, it threw me off, but it also didn't, because I liked Spider-Man Unlimited, but the voice of Spider-Man in Spider-Man Unlimited is a different voice actor than the 90s series.
Yes.
And so the voice of Spider-Man Unlimited is this Spider-Man in this game. So that's the same voice actor as that series, but then other characters like Black Cat are the voice of the 90s series. So it was sort of this weird like mashup and sort of transitional period, I think, between the
you're gonna recognize the difference where I don't approach it in that way because I don't see it in that version, or hear it in that way. But that makes sense.
I realized it, and I was like, why does he sound weird? When I was younger, I was like, he sounds different, but he doesn't, but he sounds how I remember
Spider-Man. Why is he different?
Yeah. I was like not grasping it until later. I figured out, because I watched two separate series that in my head sort of like meld into one. Right.
As a kid, those types of things don't occur to you. You just assume, oh, it's Spider-Man. It's going to be Spider-Man.
But I did notice it. It's like for the same reason that the 90s cartoon was way more iconic than Spider-Man Unlimited. But I did watch that too. So it's the same thing. Like, I watched Batman shows, right? And Kevin Conroy is the voice I hear.
That's right.
Like, if I look at a comic book, I hear Kevin Conroy's voice.
100%, man. Oh yeah.
It's just one of those things.
And unfortunately, now we just have to go back and listen and watch those. I mean, a lot of work, but
I was gonna say that if you haven't seen the Prime Batman animated series,
it's great.
That guy does a really good job at sort of replicating Kevin Conroy's voice.
Yeah, it doesn't sound exactly the same, but
it's different, but it's similar enough that
it's in the same approach. It's the same approach. Yeah. Also, so is it just called Batman? I can't remember if they just called it Batman, but it came out, I think, last year. If anyone hasn't watched it, that is definitely one of the better or best animated superhero shows recently. They did a great job with that. I really liked it too. Yeah,
it was really good.
And especially if you like the animated series like we've been talking about, you'll like it because it feels like an extension of that show for sure. Yeah,
and it's sort of like a retelling. It's different, but
parts of it, sure.
There's those things you'd be like, wait, what? Penguin's a woman? Like, it's kind of weird, but you get used to it. Just trust me. Trust your boy.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
But yeah, this game, sure, it's dated. It's dated in control scheme. If I just had to summarize, there's a lot of good stuff going on here, though.
Yes.
And you got to give credit where credit's due, because that stuff they still use functionally in a similar way, even in newer games. Okay. Whereas the last like two Spider-Man games that are on PlayStation, they've kind of revamped things a little bit.
Sure.
That's just the evolution of gameplay.
It's literally 25. We're sitting here literally 25 years later. So
yeah, but if you think about it, this is Spider-Man's first 3D outing. This is the first 3D, and this is, I would say, to my knowledge, this is the best superhero game on the N64. I can't think of any superhero game that
Okay.
is better than this.
I'll look them up while we're talking, just to be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, no, yeah, and
I can think of
not that we've
Batman
gone through them or
Beyond,
anything, but
Power
yeah.
Rangers,
Yes.
Superman, like they're all relatively
How
not that
dare
great.
you? How dare you besmirch Power Rangers? How dare you? How
Right.
dare you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay, Mr. He says I hate
Mr.
the
Worst,
Power Rangers
Mr.
game like
Worst game
every
ever.
single episode for like the past like 6 episodes. I brought it up so you didn't.
Thank you
But
for saying. Thank you for saving me from myself.
yes, you're welcome. It's what I do. But this is a lot of cool things. Like the R button is swing. Okay? That's the first thing. We've retained that. That has been a thing. The shoulder button is the swing button.
Yep.
They did that here first. Works great. It's got the web zip functionality to quickly get to a location to the side, above you. You can aim your web. The web, like impact webbing, the like shoot a web ball essentially. There is a sequel to this game. It's only on PlayStation 1. Kind of interesting situation there.
Yeah.
There is a Game Boy variant as well, which I have and played. But the movie game, the Spider-Man movie game that is on GameCube, PS2, Xbox, all that, retains a lot of the gameplay functionality of this game and just refines it a little bit. Before we transitioned into the true like open world of Spider-Man 2. So this laid the foundation, and that game kind of pushed it to its max and kind of fixed all the issues, I would say. Though I would say that the issues are really minor here. The camera being the worst offender, I would agree. And that's mostly just due to the C buttons actually become your attacks.
Yeah, down and left, I believe it is, are
Yes.
punch and kick.
Down is punch, left is
and left
kick.
is kick.
I could have those reversed, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah. I
And
think
then
so.
up is your webbing.
I don't know. You should check the manual, Jiggy. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. Duh. Up is your webbing, and then various things on like the right do different functionalities depending on the orientation of the joystick.
Yeah.
So you can do I call them web fists, but apparently this game in the instruction manual calls them web spikes, which sounds way crazier.
They definitely don't have spikes. They're definitely just like balls on his
and
hands.
you have a web shield.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, you have a couple different web based defensive and enhancements, and then you can straight up just shoot a web and just keep webbing up an enemy, which is pretty awesome.
Which is fun. Yeah.
The actual swinging mechanic is like you have to be in range sort of a building, and once you are, you trigger the thing. And I always tried to do the whole like it. So if you press, most people would either press R and then you do like an automatic jump and swing, or they would jump and then press R. Right. But did you know that you can do a faster web swing if you quickly tap A and press R, like almost together?
Quickly. Oh.
Yeah, almost together.
What does he do? Like he launches himself faster?
He does a shorter hop, and it's a much like he gets into the web swing way faster.
Oh.
It's like he does like a weird pose, and he's like, and it's.
So what is that sort of like a?
It's not much glitch, faster, but it is a little bit.
okay.
I know it's an actual mechanic that.
Oh, was it? I totally missed that.
It says here. Wait, if you press jump while in mid swing. Oh no, that's different. Well, they called it breaking or cutting webbing. I think it's just a play off that.
Right.
But he does do a pose. It's like a faster. Just try it. Go back, press A and R at the same time, and it's slightly faster.
Okay.
I used to do things where I knew I could get as much height as possible when going to a building so that I wouldn't have to scale it, because the wall climbing, for me, that's the biggest.
It's really slow.
It's slow.
Because Spider-Man, one of the things that really interests me about him, why I always gravitated towards him is I like the speed. And I said before, the physicality of Spider-Man is always really cool, because I'm never going to be that fast, agile person. So it's kind of cool to play as that physicality, right? Like that's why I always sort of like that. So I found like when you're doing like this mission that we're sort of looking at now, it's a pseudo chase mission type of thing. But there are ones where you are chasing Venom, for example, and stuff. Like you need to be quick, but you really slow down when he grabs onto the walls, and I didn't love that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, it's much slower paced. It's not bad. It's functional, and there are actually two different wall climbing like modes, I guess. I don't know that one is particularly faster than the other. I think when he goes on a specific surface, like maybe it's a smaller surface or something, or an angled surface, he like kind of pulls his legs in and crawls
I
a little
noticed
more
that.
like a puppy dog, I guess, versus like his like big strides. Like his strides are way smaller.
Yeah, like right now we're watching where he's like kind of like shuffling almost.
Yeah, and I feel like that might be a little bit slower, but
Okay.
I think it's based on the like
And
width of
it's
the
based on the
thing you're
surface that
climbing.
you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool they gave it a bit of variation.
Yeah,
But
different animation. Yeah.
the combat itself, I think actually works pretty good. I don't know what you thought about it, but I think the whole like comboing between punching and kicking, and you can jump and do sort of like a Sonic style homing attack on enemies. I think it works.
Yeah, I think actually now that I've which I, just the other day we recorded a different episode, I mentioned that I just started playing Sonic Frontiers for the first time off the recommendation of yourself and friend of the show, Matt Stormageddon said, "Oh yeah, no, you should give it a shot. It was on sale on Steam." So anyways, I started that, and it does have that Sonic homing attack thing in that game, obviously.
Mhm.
And now that I started playing that after I played this game, it does actually kind of feel like that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I think I think you're right. I do think that usually you press for the most part, you're pressing punch or kick 3 times for like this mini combo that will knock over or defeat most, if not all, of the sort of basic henchman type
Mhm.
enemies and stuff, right? Totally fine. At least they don't, overstay their welcome with these enemies and stuff. That'd be more frustrating than anything. Totally fine with all that. I don't love most of the boss fights with that, but I don't know that that's a limitation. I don't know that that is because the combat is a problem or because I was in those tight quarters and I was dealing with the camera and the things that I mentioned before. I think it was mostly because of that rather than, oh, this is what you need to do. These are the mechanics of how you fight. I don't think that's really what the issue was. So you have the web mechanic where you can web guys up, like you mentioned. You can put the things on your fists, which makes you punch a little bit harder, like you do more damage. You have that shield. You have all those things that you can actually implement, which is fun. So I don't think that was really the issue. Most of the boss fights, and I did play through the whole game, most of the boss fights kind of were frustrating, honestly.
So yeah, I'm gonna flip the script here because
Yeah.
I like all of the boss fights.
Really?
There's not even a single boss fight I don't.
I specifically found the Venom ones, the 2 Venom ones, to be insanely frustrating. Like I
So
had to look up on the second one, which is inside the sewers.
oh yeah.
Where
I was
he's
trying to
going
remember
from.
the second
I
one.
mean, yeah, that one. I got what I needed to do, but to physically like use the mechanics to get it done, I had to look up a thing that told me like, oh, this is the ideal way of getting it done. And I try to avoid that as much as I can. I was
Mhm.
never someone who wanted to put in cheats or wanted to sort of look at like guides. I want to solve these things myself, especially with boss fights, because you're sort of trying to figure out the patterns, right? And that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's almost like a mini puzzle. I like that idea of boss fights in general. I was doing it for like half an hour and I just got to like half of his health every single time, which is like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. And I'm like, I just want to get to the next stage. I want to experience the next part of this game. I want to keep going. I'm having a good enough time that I want to keep going. Can Venom just fucking die? Can I just move on kind of thing? So like that wasn't all the way through, but I was a little disappointed that Venom, a character that I really enjoy, frustrated me.
Yeah. Well, Dave, there's a special way to deal with all of this, and it's just for you.
Cheats.
No, it's called kid mode.
Oh, that's true. That's
It
true.
gets a little web thing and everything. It says kid mode.
Yeah, and he's got like there's like a little like sort of cartoony Spider-Man that stands beside it and everything. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. 'Cause what does it do? Because it just gives you unlimited health, or like what's the? I think.
No, I don't think it's unlimited health, but I think it's you don't take as much damage, and I think you also retain more webbing. when you do things. I think that's pretty much the difference.
Oh,
Just
okay.
a lot easier, and you do more damage. But
Yeah.
you can also get those sort of special effects with different costumes, which is a cool element of this game.
Oh, that's true. You pick up the white and gray one, which I can't remember what the name of it is, but
Well, yeah, but did you dive into the actual like other costumes from different Spider-Man
I did,
comics?
but that's the one that you
Okay,
like
yeah.
commonly can like kind of come across or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
there's
part
like
of
a
the
white
collectibles.
spider armor that you can put
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
And it's like a random collectible in levels, sometimes in secret spots. So you kind of want to look for it,
Yeah.
and it'll give you basically another health bar.
It does. It gives you another health bar, and I think it gives you more webbing. I think, but I can't remember exactly
So
if it did. But
no,
yeah,
it doesn't give you webbing. I think it just
yeah,
gives you health.
the health.
But it
Yeah.
looks cool, and you can
Yeah.
retain it as long as you don't lose it.
Yep.
And if you get another one, it just fills it back up if you still have
Yep.
it.
Yep. So
But
that's it's cool because it's a collectible that is usable, right?
Mhm.
Because there's other collectibles in this that are like comic book covers and stuff, which are really it's cool that you can find those and stuff too, and you get more webbing and more health and stuff. But that's one where he like literally puts on the suit, and that's fun. I like that.
yeah, and there's tons of secrets to find in this game, like lots
Yeah.
of like Easter eggs and things, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
As someone who's like dove into this game quite a bit growing up.
Yeah.
I love like this boss fight in particular is very iconic to me. The Rhino fight. You just
Yeah.
get him to slam into things.
Yeah. I like this one. It was fun.
There's cool boss. Every boss is cool looking. I get it couldn't be everybody's cup of tea, like it isn't Dave's cup of tea, but Rhino, I mean, you dodge it. Fundamentally, every boss kind of has a different way of fighting them, and that's probably what is sort of frustrating because it's almost gimmicky a little bit.
You know what though? But variety is good. Like variety's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm
Yeah.
okay with the fact that they're different. I just found the way that Venom worked to be frustrating. The Rhino one, I agree. It's pretty early on. I think it's like the second boss after Scorpion. I think it's
Yeah.
the second one.
Yeah, Scorpion is the first
I do
boss.
like it because you kind of have to like guide him to where you want him to charge at you and stuff. And there's a couple like ways to do it. And
Mhm.
I was okay with that.
And the first fight, you really when you're facing against Scorpion's a little different too because you have to save J. Jonah Jameson from him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fight where you kind of want to just throw a bunch of crap at him.
Yeah.
Like just pick
That's
up
right.
stuff. And it's one of the things in this game that's kind of cool. It's like the environment itself isn't really destructible, but you can pick up a lot of things in the environment and just kind of
Mhm.
throw it.
Mhm.
It's very cool. But you fight everybody. You fight except Green Goblin. You do not fight Green Goblin, but you fight Venom, Mysterio, Rhino, Scorpion, Doc Ock, Carnage
Doc
is in there.
A version of Doc Ock that has meshed with
Yes.
which interestingly enough, I didn't
Monster Ock is what they call it.
was created specifically for this game, which I didn't know. I thought like usually, there's a lot of ideas in comics and a lot of
Yeah.
characters, and especially like you mentioned how like just now, but also just like growing up, how there's all the like the manual says these villains and more. Spider-Man's like Batman has so many enemies
Mhm.
to choose from. They find a way to get a lot of them in here, the big name ones for the most part, but like pretty much all of the big ones you can think of, they're in here, and they find a way to make it work. But I didn't realize that the sort of and the last boss where Carnage is meshed with Doc Ock was created just for this. I just assumed that was an idea that came from a comic because of course it would, right? No big
Yeah,
deal if
right,
it did, but
right.
yeah, that was kind of, oh, actually this is like, hold on, this is kind of a fun part here where I'm going to pull up the sound on this
dialogue.
one. Yeah, the dialogue where you're chasing Venom through the city. This is one of the parts where I think the swing mechanics, like you were talking about, really work and feel kind of fun and
Mhm.
stuff. You're chasing him and you have to sort of keep as close to Venom as you can. This is pretty early on in the game, within the first couple hours or whatever, but you chase him and then he jumps through like a window. If people aren't watching this, he jumps through a window in a building, and there's all this like dialogue between the two and stuff, which is kind of fun.
It's
So
basically like, yeah.
Look out, lady.
Oh my goodness!
Get out of my way, nerd.
get out of my way, nerd.
What is that first step? Introducing. Ow! Head! Oh, toe, ow! Look out, lady.
Oh my goodness!
Repeat.
Oh, sorry, lady. Didn't see a thing.
And that whole thing that you just heard of him talking and all that, you're not even controlling it. It's like almost like a mini cutscene. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
it's a small little cutscene there,
Yeah, in
and
between
it's
your
filled with
chase.
a bunch of moments like that. And
Yeah.
like I said, cameos and things to look out for.
Mhm.
It's just got a lot of cool stuff. Like there's a special place where you can actually find a reference to the Green Goblin. You can find out like his secret
yeah?
hideout, or I guess it could be the Hobgoblin. I don't remember which one in particular
Right.
it is, but
Right.
it's Pumpkin Bombs, so you know it's him.
Yeah.
This game focuses a lot on symbiotes. I think would probably be the
Yep.
would you say it's the main one of the main plot points? I mean, it's Doc Ock is the overall like bad guy.
Yeah, so the setup of the story is like Doc Ock is coming up with this like new technology or something that he shows off at like a conference, and everyone's, oh, Doc Ock he's a good guy now. Hey, he's like Spider-Man's like, oh, maybe Octavius has turned things around a little bit. And that's kind of like the little like sort of note and voiceover at the beginning. Eventually you just realize that's just for show, and he's actually
Mhm.
doing bad things behind the scenes sort of idea, right? But yeah, I think you're right. I think Doc Ock is there, but you're not really actively dealing with Ock until the end. So I do think that it's pretty much like the symbiotes and stuff like that leading up to that point. So yeah, and a good stretch, which is what we're watching right now, a good stretch in like the sewers, which is a lot of like um
Lizard
lizard and stuff. So
stuff.
which is interesting enough that Lizard's not even in this game. Apparently that was something they wanted to do and they had to cut it.
Mm.
Which I believe is in the PlayStation version. I have to find. I wrote it down here. Where is it? I'll find it in a second. But
There's
yeah.
a little interaction you can have with Lizard.
Oh, is there? Oh,
Yeah, there's like a secret tunnel in the sewers, and you can find him at a gate, and he talks to you.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Oh, okay. So according to
cool.
lead designer Chad Finley, the lizard was meant to be a boss in the final sewer level, which I think ends up being Venom. And Spider-Man would have fought Venom on top of the Brooklyn Bridge, but because of time constraints and development, both of those ideas were scrapped. And I think that's pretty sure that's referring to the 64 version specifically. I don't know if any of that stuff is somewhat shared in PlayStation 1, but it's probably I doubt they could do that much more.
I'm pretty sure the game itself is the same, like story wise and level wise. I don't know that there's any exclusive levels between the versions.
Right.
The main thing between the versions, the PlayStation version looks the worst.
It
Like
does look kind of
visually.
rough. I was surprised. I thought it was going to look a little, I mean, not smooth, but smoother, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah,
It didn't. I looked up some video of it. I'm like, I don't know.
The models and stuff are very aliased, like very pixelated.
Yes.
It's not like bad. It's not going to ruin your experience if that's the version you have.
No.
But you do get some perks. There are some perks. Obviously, audio quality is like the standard, like bump up from everything.
Yeah.
And this has fully animated cutscenes on the PlayStation. So
right. That's one of the things that I definitely wanted to mention. Yeah.
That is the biggest thing, because on the N64 version, they get around it by showing you screen grabs from the cutscene videos.
Yes.
And then making it sort of like a comic book where you turn the page, which I think is a very clever way to make something that's sort of a disadvantage, almost like a stylistic approach.
Yes, I 100% agree. If anything, I like. So what's weird is that it's basically a screenshot.
Yeah,
right. with that looks like a panel from a comic book. Now, I like the idea of that. If it wasn't almost like a straight up screenshot, I think some of them would look a little better than others. But the idea, the stylistic idea, like you just said, I actually think is great. I actually would. I don't know if I prefer it because I didn't play through the PlayStation version, but like it does not take away from the game at all that you have it. If anything, that style to make it feel even more like you're in a comic book, because like I mentioned before, when you start a level, and if anyone was watching it, you see the cover of a comic book, and like that stage or that set of levels is themed around this comic book that you were looking at the beginning, and then things get going and you get to play. In between, instead of having a cutscene, you have panels that are potentially within that comic book. I think that's a cool idea, and I think that works. Like I think I actually do prefer it now that I talk it through, just because of that. I don't need a hand-drawn version of what the cutscenes were. That's totally fine. That's not what I'm looking for. But I stylistically 100% agree. I actually think it's almost a better way to go. Like, why use up the data and effort to do that when you could have put it towards something else, which is what they have
Right.
to do because they're on a cartridge, which obviously has limitations. So
I think if I were to do anything different, I think I would try to subtly animate these
mm,
and just like very minor things like this specific screen grabber looking at Venom is behind Spider-Man and he's saying your shoes are untied, Parker.
which is
I
great,
think
by the way. Great.
it would be cool if Spider-Man and Venom, say Spider-Man was getting slightly smaller and Venom was getting slightly bigger. So
Right.
it puts a little bit of motion in it, like a little motion comic.
Yep.
I think that would just be that would make the best of both worlds, I think.
Or
and
just
give it a little
like it
feel.
zooms in on them or something.
Yeah,
You know, like
just some sort of movement to make it a little more visually interesting than just screen
minor,
grabs.
very minor, but just a little something.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like there's one instance where we saw it at the very end of the first level where the spider emblem comes on and like that transition
Mhm.
like black to black screen that adds so much just
Yeah.
having that little thing at the end like that
Yeah.
it looks really cool. I also think visually this game looks pretty good on N64.
I do too. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
very
think
colorful, it's very
yeah.
vibrant, it's very like I don't know, it just looks good for an early
I
3D game. I like it. It's
I think
stylized.
the main characters, which would be Spider-Man and the main villains, all look pretty damn good, you know, and it's not like um they're all it's not like Venom is just has like has a different suit, but he looks like Spider-Man, like they could have maybe quote unquote gotten away with that where they're just like, oh, whatever, he's got the sort of blue and the white and big teeth and that's it. No, he looks bigger, he's hulkier.
Mhm.
Rhino's the same thing. Scorpions is like all these Mysterio, like they all look different. They all have different physicality and all that stuff. And that's something you could maybe not avoid, but something that didn't have to be a point of them to do. And it does make a difference. Like it feels like you're like when you fight against Rhino or you fight against Venom, Spider-Man needs to feel physically like he needs to use his abilities in order to survive and win the fight. And that's what these feel like. Which again could be passed through and just not, yeah, whatever, we'll find another way. It's just about the punching and kicking in the webs. It doesn't have to be about the other stuff. And they made that work. I think I think
Yeah.
it looks good. And like I mentioned before, I don't think the missions are the issue for me at all in this game. It's all the other stuff that I've mentioned. So not only does the game look colorful and look pretty good, I agree, but there's a lot of different things you do in this. And there's a lot of different areas that you have to
Mhm.
fight through and work through. And that takes effort, that takes design, that takes all these things that come along with level design and graphics and all those things that needed to happen. And largely that's I agree. I think it's pretty good. I This part of the game, which is like what, a third, maybe halfway, we're in the sewer
Yeah, I'd say
and you're
halfway probably.
yeah, about halfway. At a certain point, I just wanted to get the fuck out of the sewer. I was like, I'm done with the sewer. Like
Mm.
it's not as colorful. Which okay, you're in a sewer. I get it. Like I'm not looking for neon lights and a rave, which I guess could happen. Those happen in the comic book. If you're if it was the 90s Batman movies, there'd be a rave in that sewer.
Right?
For sure. The Schumacher movies, there'd be a rave happening in that sewer somewhere. I just the enclosed areas, the very much like the tightness of this area, the less colorful nature of it, I just found it less interesting.
I think the tightness is probably the worst culprit here
It,
because it sort of slows things down and you're not particularly fast to begin with.
yeah,
It's more of a
yeah,
it's more of a beat up these enemies, move on to the next section sort of
hmm
area, which
and avoid the water, and avoid the
and
water.
avoid the water. Yes. It is cool how you use your webs to like flip switches and stuff, and it gives
Yeah,
you some cool wall climbing segments, I think, to explore. Spider-Man goes into the sewers a lot in general in like the shows, in the comics. Like
that's
he's
true.
always in the sewers. He's arguably one of the most sewer like if you had to
Most
put like
well-known sewer
superheroes,
residents.
yes. If you had to put superheroes up at how many times they go into the sewer, Spider-Man and Batman both go to the sewer quite a bit.
That's right. They do.
And it's
You're
like,
right.
how much crime really happens in the sewer? Apparently quite a bit. Batman's literally got an alligator. I think it depends on your villain. That's what it is. Batman's got Killer Croc, and Spider-Man's got the lizard, and reptiles like sewers. That's what it is. So if you got a reptile villain, they got to be based in the sewer.
You have to. Yeah, because there's no other water anywhere close to a city like New York, obviously.
True.
It's
That's true.
the sewers.
It's the pseudo water levels, which we don't need. You don't have to have a water level in your game, people. Just let me say that out loud. You don't have to have a water level. Everyone does it. You don't need it.
So the thing is about the water, which Jiggy mentioned a while ago now when he was reading the manual, and the reason why we're joking about it is because, and we're not seeing it in this playthrough, but I definitely ran into it. The split second that Spider-Man touches water in this game, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like you just see his limp body floating through the water. That's it. That's all you see. And it's crazy how quick it happens, because it's almost like, wait, what did I just, what just happened? What? Oh, I'm in water. Oh, it's jarring. Honestly, I find it to be jarring. And it's almost comical. A couple times that it happened that I didn't know water was there, especially in the sewer levels, because you have to kind of like look down some spots and stuff. I was like, well, fuck. At least the save states are not save states, but the save points are a little bit forgiving, so you're not going through the whole level.
Yeah,
the
I never
entire
thought.
Time. Like,
never thought, oh crap, I got to replay this again and do all.
Yeah,
this
I got to
over.
play the last 20 minutes over and over. Like it doesn't do that, which is good. So at least it knows.
Yeah, and I wanted to say just to talk about the combat again for just a second.
Of course.
So like the combos, you do a combo of like 3 punches and 3 kicks, okay? And we're watching someone play. To be honest, they're not very good.
This looks like me, so
they well, they're not. There's a lot of combos you can do varying your kicks and punches.
That's right.
And there are punches that you can literally throw that will like launch your enemy way farther, and utilizing those in like strategic places, like he could just punch him off the edge right now.
Yep.
And not using any of your web-based attacks or your shield or anything like that, you're suffering. Like use your whole arsenal of abilities, and you'll have more fun. First of all, you'll look cooler, and it helps. It helps. Spider-Man has got abilities, use them. And the cool thing about the costumes, cycling back to that, switching out to alternate costumes, there are a bunch of different costumes that have different effects.
Yes.
For example, there is you can get the symbiote costume, you can get the black suit, and it has unlimited webbing.
Yep.
You can be Spider-Man 2099 and he's stronger. His hits are doubled. You can be Captain Universe and just beat everything in the game because you're invulnerable. You have unlimited webbing.
I saw
and
that
you're
was a
stronger.
thing, and I never actually got the. Oh, that would have been so cool.
Oh yeah. Or my personal favorite, Spider-Man Unlimited, who can turn invisible.
Right.
Like that's pretty awesome.
That's cool. So and like you said earlier, how this game has sort of was like a template for a lot of stuff after it. Sure, you can come up with this idea without this game existing. I get it. But in the modern Spider-Man games, part of the fun is switching over to other suits. Only some of them have other stat abilities, from what I remember. Most of them are just cosmetic and stuff. But hey, this did it first.
Some of them have negative stat abilities, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like you can be Peter Parker and he only can carry up to 2 web cartridges.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah. And there's like a quick change where it's Peter Parker with a mask on. It's really funny.
That's great.
This level that we're watching right here, this is where you can actually interact with the lizard if you find the right pathway.
Area. Yeah, so you're sort of going through like a mini maze almost in the sewers. Yeah.
But looking for the Easter eggs is like one of my favorite things in this game, and finding different characters and different references. And that leads me to I'll just gloss over cheat codes are a thing.
Yes.
There is like Big Head mode. There's like the classic one. This is one of the games I remember the cheat code I used as a kid.
Oh, no way.
Which is it's like True Believer, which is True Believer, but it was like spelled slightly different. And it basically just unlocks everything.
Okay.
So you can just like punch it in, you get all the levels, you get all the costumes, you get everything. I did that as a kid, and it's like one of the few for my little like got from the store cheat code 101 cheat code book or whatever. That's one of the passwords that I remembered because I used it all the time.
There's very
And
few of those. I think is it the classic Konami one that everyone kind of has in their
yes,
head?
yeah.
Up, down, down, up, XBYA start. That
Yep,
one.
yep.
Yeah, that one
The
I use.
Konami
That one I
code.
know off by hand because I use all the time in Battletoads Double Dragon, that game, for the SNES, because you could unlock every stage and you started with 10 lives or unlimited lives or something like that. And those games are tough. Those Double Dragon games, those kind of games from the mid 90s, like they're difficult. So, and and then Konami made those games. So
Let me
that's the one
tell
I
you,
always remember.
there is one cheat code that is possibly the greatest cheat code in the history of cheat codes, and it's
Okay.
in this game. It is not on the N64 version.
Oh shit.
I'm trying to see. I just had to Google it right now to see. I knew it was
Yeah.
on PC. It looks like it is on the PlayStation version as well. It is what if mode.
Oh
And
shit. What? That's so
those,
cool.
yeah,
Already that sounds cool.
those familiar with Marvel Comics and what if storylines,
Yeah.
even the latest series on Disney Plus, what if,
Yep.
alternate
Which are very good.
storylines.
Very
So
good.
essentially, you punch this cheat code in, and it changes things in the game. And the things it changes range from epic to hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna read some of these
Yes,
because they are
please.
just fan freaking tastic.
Hold on, I'm gonna make you larger on the screen so we have some
Okay.
story time.
It breaks down pretty much every level on this little guide I have. What happens when you enter the what if code?
Okay.
So for example, level 1, it changes a building to the Neversoft office, which Neversoft is the company that developed this game.
Nice.
Level 2, you can actually go to the Fantastic Four building, and the Human Torch will be on top of it. And let me read this. He says something like, we're not here right now. Like the Fantastic Four is not here right now, and
They're
then he
just not
flies
here.
away. It's okay. This isn't super detailed, but I'm just going off memory a little bit. Hostage situation, level 3, where the second hostage is kept. Enter where he is and stand on the black platform. Spidey dances. And it says, I recommend using the Peter Parker costume here. I don't know if that makes it different or just funnier.
Yeah, sounds funnier. Yeah, sure.
Level 4, stop the bomb. You find a bloody message written on the wall in the room where the gold is. Level 5, race to the bugle. I remember this one. Ghost Rider can actually be seen riding up one of the buildings.
Oh, that'd
which
be
is
so
pretty cool on his
cool.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
Also, instead of exchanging witty remarks, Scorpion and J. Jonah Jameson say Marco Polo.
Oh my god, yes.
Which is funny.
Because if anyone hasn't played this game, Jameson is hiding behind desks and things like that in his office while Scorpion tries to find him. That's amazing. That's
and
so funny.
when Scorpion breaks through the wall, he yells, "Here's Johnny," which is funny. There is a mini game in level 7, the police chopper chase.
Oh yeah.
Level 8, missile attack. When going past the Wolverine poster on the left side of the building, there's a quote, I guess, Spidey quote. Building top chase. Let me see. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because there's just like a ton of stuff here.
But that's a lot of stuff already. Like that's
they add. There's one part that has the Submariner.
Oh shit.
I think there's more lizard interaction. But the best thing, let me find it out here. It is the very end with the Monster Ock fight.
Yep.
Or maybe it's right before the Monster Ock fight. It's like Doc Ock's office. It makes everything
regular
like
Doc Ock fight. Yeah.
It makes everything like Barbie and pink. Like his whole office is like, come on, Barbie, let's go, Barbie. It's freaking hilarious. I remember it. It was just so funny.
I was trying to find like screenshots of it. I keep seeing like just YouTube videos and stuff.
Here it is.
The actual thing.
Spidey versus Carnage. Sharks and whales circled around the ocean bed outside the fight. Submariner will be watching the fight on the back of a whale.
Hold on, this I have to see now. Spider-Man
cool.
PS1 what if code? I'm gonna try and find a video because
there's also a thing where And I'll just briefly highlight that this game gives a canon reason for there being fog in the world and not being able to go on the street.
Oh, that's right.
And
that's
that's
right.
Doc Ock releases a bunch of fog that's like poisonous, right?
Like a poison or something. Yeah. Which
So-
isn't there another game that has that? I feel like there was another one that
I don't
had that.
know, but I thought it was really funny. And in this one, the fog producer turns into a giant banana. And yeah, it's hilarious. You can see a picture of that. They're all like just giant bananas. It's just silly. It's like the best mode ever. It's like the best cheat code ever.
That's
It
great.
does it changes something in just about every single level or adds things to levels.
And
Sometimes
like deep
multiple
cuts on
things.
some of them too, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what's
It's
even
super
better
cool.
about it. Okay, I think I found like the psychedelic doc thing. Hold on, I'm gonna grab this as
There
well.
we go.
One sec here. I gotta find it. Share screen. Sorry, bear with me, people. I gotta find this. I think this is it. Is that it? No, that's not the one. Is that it? Nope. Where? Come on now. Come on. Where is it? There it is. Share.
There we go.
There it is.
So it's psychedelic. I was thinking it was Barbie going off memory, but yeah, it's
Close
psychedelic.
enough.
Holy crap, this is awesome. What on earth? Mini
It's some like playthrough. But like look at that. There's like
It's amazing.
literally looks like it's someone was hopped up on drugs and
There's like pink flowers and
flowers with sunglasses on.
flowers with sunglasses. There's like an image. I'm assuming it's like one of the developers' faces. Like it looks like a meme.
Yeah, it does look like a meme. Yeah.
Oh, it says Dr. Ock, doesn't it?
Does it?
It's
Yeah,
funny.
maybe it
It's
does.
very silly, and it's just sprinkled goodness throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that is one reason why I would push someone to not play the N64 mode and play one of the other versions just to try this mode exclusively.
Right.
It's very cool, and it's just fantastic. It's
That's such
so
it's
entertaining.
such a fun idea. I love that.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
god.
it just pushes. It gives you a reason to replay this game just to see like everything that's changed.
Yeah.
It's
But
fun.
you don't get that often, honestly. Like there'll be ports and they'll be basically the same game. Not that you're saying that this game is drastically different in any way, but like this is a fun way of differentiating them, which doesn't happen often,
Right.
like at all. Oh, there's a thing on the whale. Yeah.
Submariner. Yep.
That's so funny. I mean, I know it kind of looks like Aquaman, and that's the idea, but or vice versa. But yeah.
I didn't think it was possible, but he's kind of goofier than Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
He's got those
100%.
little wings on his feet. It's like, what?
Yep. This person's just like watching it. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, he's just ignoring. He's got like the invincibility thing on.
Yeah, I must. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so I think I do think you're right. There are a lot of things in this that are good. I do think that there's a lot to enjoy in here. I just wish that the parts that I didn't enjoy weren't as frequent. The ones that frustrated me more than they would have otherwise and stuff. So, you know, it's rare for me to be sitting here going, oh, I hate what they had to choose to do with the 64 version or with the 64 version, the limitations of this cartridge, of this console or whatever. Like we don't say that very often. We're pretty much like, oh no, well it's good. They did what they could. And there's things you celebrate about what it offers. And I don't know, there was something about that camera and some of the fights that just irked me more than I thought they would. And you know, we're looking at like the Mysterio fight. Something like this doesn't bother me. Like I like the way this functioned. It's definitely different from the rest of them. Like there's variation here. There's a lot of fun to be had. I just wish some of the parts that I didn't enjoy didn't bring those down as much as I sort of anticipated they would. So I like it. It's definitely still worth playing. I do think that it's not a bad game. I definitely am not. I'm not leaning towards that in any way.
Like I said, I think it's the best superhero game on the N64.
Yeah. So when I looked up, technically,
it's just not the best version of this game.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the way you talk.
No, I know. The Dreamcast version would probably be the tip of the top.
Gotcha.
And the PC version was also very, very good.
Right. I did play the GBA one. You mentioned that earlier. I got my little
Yep.
Amberneck and I pulled that out because anytime there's a chance for me to play the handheld version of these games, I do. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
This is better.
it's fine.
It's fine. It's like it's a 2D,
Yeah,
whatever.
and they made the sequel. The only reason why I would tell someone to play the PlayStation version, because in my opinion, that's the worst version, but it does have the cool cutscenes. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what you're gaining, and it does have what if mode. But the reason why I would say play the PlayStation version is because the sequel, as far as I'm aware, is only on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
So you can play this and its sequel, and it feels more natural that way when you can play them on the same
Right.
console, and you're not
Right.
visually like shocked or something. Like it looks
And
totally
you're not
different.
relearning controls and things like that.
Yeah,
too.
it just feels like
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. So that'd be almost why I would recommend playing the PlayStation version, and you can
That's
do
fair.
what if.
Yep.
But the N64 version, if that's what you got, I mean, you'll be happy with it. It visually looks, arguably, it's one of the better looking versions.
And
Piece-
like we said before, it definitely looks better than the PlayStation one, in my opinion.
yeah,
So
it looks better than the PlayStation 1. It's somewhere
cleaner. It's cleaner.
between PlayStation and PC.
Yeah.
And Dreamcast looks just like the PC version. It's a very late N64 release. This
Yeah,
is
I
what,
did not.
2000?
2000.
I don't know
late
when
2000.
yeah.
Late 2000. So very late.
Very late. And then follow this up a year later, the Spider-Man movie tie-in game. A year or two later, I'm not sure exactly.
2000 movie. So
yeah, so it's
yeah, 2001.
gameplay wise, it's very similar to that. So if you like that game, you'll like this game for sure. It's just a
Yep.
little clunkier, a little earlier, but it's good, and it's got more of a comic booky feel than those games have, which
That's
actually
right.
makes me appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah, which is why I like those comic book sort of versions of the cutscenes. I think I like that style choice.
Yeah, and just a brief highlight: you can get fire webbing too. It's in there.
That's
It's
right.
only a couple levels, but it's kind of cool, and it just makes your
Yep.
webbing orange and it melts stuff.
Yep.
It's neat.
Use it against the Carnage, the symbiote stuff.
Yeah, the little pink symbiotes that you have to like fight. They're like little. They're not quite symbiotes. They're like little goo, like sentient goo.
Whatever they
creatures.
call the version that is like, I guess is
like
it
a prototype thing. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. Yeah. The funny thing about the sequel that you mentioned, I wrote this down because I find this type of choice when it comes to titling movies or games and stuff like that to be hilarious. But it's Spider-Man : Enter : Electro.
I didn't know there was a second colon in there.
Yeah, like why?
Spider-Man.
I wonder if they were planning on making like Enter Venom, Enter Lizard, and like that kind of thing. And it was like the first of that, but it's just like that's complete. Why can't it just be Enter Electro? That just sounds fine. It's almost like a pause in between. I'm just like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Anyway.
I can tell you it starts off immediately with the X-Men tie-in and voice actor, which is pretty cool. Beast is there right away. It's very, very much a continuation of this game and the world of the 90s sort of comic book. So you get a little bit more of that content, which if you're like me, you're clamoring for that. And the X-Men 97 that came out, fantastic show.
Also very, very good.
And I'm very hopeful that they're going to do a Spider-Man reboot of that 90s series so they can finish the flipping thing, because let me tell you, I'm so mad about it. I'm so mad. I watched the whole thing like live on TV, like I was watching it, and the last episode, he goes to look for the real Mary Jane, and that's where it ended. It was done after that. They never made an episode. They never resolved it. For years, I thought I just never saw it because, and so I went hunting for it and could never find it, and then only to find out that, oh no, the series was canceled after that, and they never reached the conclusion.
Oh, that's brutal.
So that series is set up to reboot. Like, let's continue it.
Even more so than X-Men 97 was, really.
Let's do it.
Even more so. Like,
finish it.
Jeez, that sucks. I mean, regardless of what medium that's in, that kind of cut off like that is.
And it was such a popular series too. It was very, very cool, obviously, because this game is basically based off that. It's a tie-in with that.
Spider-Man. It's gonna have a little extra love just because of that alone, right? Or attention because of that alone. So Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. I had a hard time getting past those frustrating points, and that's what it is. I think I'm frustrated with the fact that I was frustrated with those, if that makes sense. I wish those didn't bug me as much as they did. Those elements of it. Some of the boss fights, especially the early stuff, and that camera was absolutely brutal to me.
I'm just so desensitized to it. The cameras don't bother me. I really think that, like, I really think this is a good game. Like, I wouldn't even say it's fine. I would say it's good.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And we can kind of divert the line there because I feel like you're sort of like directly in the middle. I'm leaning a little. I'm not saying it's like perfect, but I'm leaning a little bit more to like this is a really enjoyable game. It's early 3D controls, and that's its fault.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna fault something and not enjoy it because it's that, like, you can there's a good game in here and there's a lot to appreciate about it. And I think if you like Spider-Man, and especially if you like the 90s cartoon series, you're really gonna love this game. So definitely like go check it out.
Yeah,
and
despite my feelings about those parts of it, I don't disagree with anything you just said. Like
There you
that's the
go.
thing. I'm in like this weird sort of in between sort of feeling about it.
Well,
which I
you're
think is-
objectively looking at the like this is dated. Like we have better things. We have better
but
Spider-Man
everything
games.
we're playing a console from 25 years ago, 27 years ago. Like everything's dated. So
Yeah.
like,
Exactly. Which is what I'm saying.
God damn it, Dave.
Like,
but you're right. There is
camera controls. Suck it up. Do better. That's all I have to say.
Hey, you ever try sucking less? You ever try that? I mean, no, I haven't actually. Come to think of it, no, I haven't.
Hey, if my 6-year-old nephew can conquer the bridge in Mumbo's Mountain and Banjo-Kazooie, anything is possible.
Absolutely anything is possible. Okay, so yeah, Spider-Man, I'm with you. People should play this. I do think that it's worth going through for all the reasons that you said. I just had this. Maybe it's just the mood I was in. I don't know what it was, but it's not like I didn't have a good time. I was just butting up against things that bumped my enjoyment down more than I thought it would. That's pretty much what it is. But there's lots to like here, and definitely all the things you said. Like if you are a 90s comic and cartoon fan of Spider-Man or superheroes, this has a lot in there that really feels like, oh, they put a lot of attention to detail in that part of this game, and that's fun, and that's a huge positive. So Spider-Man, check it out. N64, like the other versions that Jiggy was talking about, there's something to like about all those ones as well, including the live version especially.
And
so
one thing I wanted to say too, we were watching the person play it, and it was the N64 version, but it looked like they were playing it on emulation. And I was noticing a lot of things that don't, like glitches and things that don't necessarily happen in the actual version.
Right.
So I would almost say try to play this on real hardware. Just if you're having issues, maybe that's it, or maybe try emulating a different version. Maybe the N64 version doesn't translate as well. That's food for thought.
Which happens quite often with 64 emulation. Like it's not easy to emulate many games. Yeah.
I was just noticing some weird like visual stuff, like when they're wall climbing and things.
Yeah, like clipping and things like that.
Yeah, like clipping, and like they'd pop up and their model would be like above the enemy. Right. And it didn't seem to bother them too much, but I was noticing it in just the brief like lookovers that I was doing of the gameplay. So I just feel like this may be one that you need to dial in and find the version that's best for you.
Right.
But
I did the EverDrive version of this, not the physical one like you have, but I didn't notice that was an issue. It could have been something that I just wasn't paying attention to, but I have noticed from time to time games that I've had a few minutes on Steam Deck, for example, that is emulated, but then emulated on the EverDrive. Like the EverDrive one often does not have the same visual issues as what I would see on the Steam Deck because of the hardware and all that. So like, even if it is a version like that I played, that alone makes a difference. So I do think you're right. I think there might be something to that. If you don't have the cartridge itself, the way that I played it is a pretty good backup and way of doing it. So it's possible that was something I ran into, and I just didn't realize that it would have been an emulation thing. That's possible. Yeah.
I don't know. Give it a shot, but you'll have fun.
Yes.
Spider-Man.
I do think so.
I'm trying to think if there's like a tidbit a tidbit of like that's going to be the title of this episode. You know, I don't Spider-Man Shwing.
Swing. Done.
Swing and done.
Swing done. Before we are done, sir, let's talk about your stuff. So you've done a couple of really cool videos recently, including one with your nephew, right?
Yeah,
As well. So that's
nephew.
something that definitely people should be checking out. What else has been going on? And also you've very recently either finished or very close to finishing a game that we did an episode on.
Oh man, I went back. We did Jet Force Gemini, and at that point I had not ever collected all the tribals, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna do it.
Which I remember we talked about and thought this is an insane task.
Yes. And I did it. And guess what? Yes, it was an insane task because I was hoping to only play Jet Force Gemini for 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops, and I ended up going 4 weeks. And 2 of those weeks were just collecting keys and tribals and ship parts. So just picture that the first 2 streams were me just playing the game, getting to the point where I needed to collect stuff. And then the last 2 streams were just collecting everything I needed to finish the game.
And these aren't like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to stream for like 2 hours or
they're
like,
4 hour minimum.
Yeah, you're a
4 hour
machine.
minimum.
You're a machine on Friday nights that Jiggy look back on YouTube.
But yeah, it was fun though. It was fun. We got it done. And now I can say that, hey, I collected all the tribals.
That's right. You could say that.
Yeah. And one of the cool things was I did it on NSO and I used the Switch 2. And the Switch 2, if you didn't know, NSO N64 on Switch 2, you have a rewind function.
Oh, that's right. That's one thing they added.
So they added it. It's a Switch 2 only thing. Very helpful, especially in a game like Jet Force Gemini where you accidentally kill a tribal. Just rewind a little bit to before you kill it, and then you can collect it, which made the collecting process so much better. Right. And I had one person on my stream who was like, "You're a cheater. You're cheating." And I was like, "You know what?" I was like, "Normally I would never do this, but for this game,
you got it.
This is just modern amenity. I need this."
Yeah.
It makes it more enjoyable.
You're powering through in such like a crazy way, like not in a bad way. Like it's impressive that you did that. You got to take those little add-ons.
Sometimes you got to use the tools available to you.
Absolutely.
Although I would say, I'd always say like you should go through and just play a game the way it was intended. But rewind functions, not too bad.
It's not like you haven't played the game before and you're doing this added thing that was like a climbing an Everest type of thing that was not necessary.
Right.
You're trying to have fun with it. You're trying to like say like, I did this. And it's not like you're fast forwarding or using a Game Shark or like, things like it's just a little thing. It's a little thing. And I still applaud you, sir, for powering through no matter what tool you utilize to do it. So that's Jiggy Look back on YouTube. That's where you can find his streams. Pretty much most, if not all, Friday nights you're streaming something. So
trying to.
Yeah, trying to. Hey, life gets in the way regardless of what night it is. So things happen, but things like that, you can watch epic things like that happen, and your awesome videos as well. As far as Remember 64 goes, you can find us on social media. Remember 64 Show. Pretty much Blue Sky and Instagram is where you'll find it. Every once in a while, I put up the silly videos that I come up with at 2:00 in the morning on TikTok as well. But otherwise, patreon.com/remember64 show as well. Episodes early, video content early, pre and post show chats as well. Today we had a little chat about pets and animals.
Yes, we did.
So you can hear us talk about that. As little as $1 a month, you can get access to all that stuff to help support the show. And of course, you can. First of all, give us a rating.
Yeah, rate the podcast.
Rate the podcast on your podcast app, regardless of which one it is. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. YouTube, Remember 64 on YouTube, as well as the work on Console Creatures. You will also find these episodes there, the video version, but also the other shows that I mentioned at the beginning of the show as well. So you can find Creature Cast, PlayStation Generation. They also do video versions of their shows and also have their stuff up on podcast feeds, so you can find them as well. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what it is. I
don't know, but I'm going to say that the intro there's an intro here. I'm gonna update that. So
Oh yeah.
tune into the video version soon. Watch the old intro, and we're gonna put the new intro up soon. So we'll get that done. It'll be cool.
Jiggy continuing to work his video magic.
Oh yes, gotta love it. Gotta have some video magic.
That's it. The video. Sprinkle the Jiggy look back on the Remember 64. Woo! Flap. String.
Oh, really funny. My friend, we used to do this thing. I had this friend. He'd be like every day. He's like every day I wake up and I just do the test. You know, I just do the test to see if maybe I woke up or maybe I developed superpowers in the middle of the night and I got the Spider-Man thing. And he's like, and I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yes, because what if?
Hey,
what if it happened?
Hey,
I'll leave you with that little tidbit. What if?
Well, you know what? When it comes to Spider-Man specifically, is it not like this? It's probably a little bit of a myth, but is there not a thing like, oh, everybody eats 100 spiders in their lifetime in their sleep or some silly thing like that? I don't know if it's actually true. Maybe one of them was radioactive.
Hey, that's all I'm saying.
I think your friend was onto something, man.
What if
he was on something? Yeah, you were not onto it, and I think that's a you. I think that's a you problem. I think.
Well, now I do it every day. You convinced me. I mean,
with both hands, not just one.
That was like in high school too. So now just every day I wake up and go, dang it, not today.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I will get some coffee.
Yeah, basically.
All right, fine. I guess I'll walk the dog. All right, fine.
That's why Batman's my favorite superhero. Burn. Never disappointed.
Jeez.
Because I know I'm not going to wake up a billionaire. So
got to play the lottery. It's the only way.
Spider-Man, there may be a chance.
There's a better chance of becoming Spider-Man than making.
What does that say about society that I'm like, there is more hope that I wake up with spontaneous spider powers that I can shoot webs out of my wrist than becoming a billionaire?
I don't know. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's good because it's fun that possibility could be there.
Yeah.
I want to live in that world. Let's live in that world, Jiggy.
Let's live in that world. What if?
All right, buddy. Good to chat to you. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. And we will see you next time on Remember 64. Goodbye.